Hi guys, it's Stephen here from Sycamore Cleaning and Clearance, one half of anyway. Unfortunately Claire is not very well at all. We've had a crazy 2 or 3 months, hence the videos not coming out too often. It's just been 8 o'clock starts, 8 to 11 o'clock finish at night time. So to say done in is an understatement. But yeah, as I say, poor Claire is not very well at all at the moment. So wishing her some well wishes, and yeah, hopefully she gets over it soon. She's at home at the moment. Thankfully, I'm able to look after her back here and get some of this stock shifted. We've got quite an important video today. I think it is. I'm hoping you guys will enjoy it. It's been on my mind now for a couple of weeks. This is what I'm talking about. Maybe the thumbnail has kind of given it away a bit here, but I've been sat on this now for a couple of weeks and I need your help. I need the YouTube community's help in validating what I'm announcing today. So I'm in my teenage boy's bedroom. I'm doing this video because downstairs is full of stock, garage lockup is full of stock, van's full of stock. I literally don't have anywhere to do my videos, so in his room. So the book, here it is, as you saw on the thumbnail. Have we found something quite significant? I really hope so. We need it now, guys, so I need you really to help me, Claire, and the family out and see whether we're on to a winner here. As I said at the start of the video, we've been just absolutely hammering into clearances. We've done one recently that's took 16 weeks to do, so it just gives you the kind of idea of what this property looked like. We obtained thousands of books from that property, and typically a couple of weeks before we took that job on, I bought loads of books from auctions because I was running quite low on stock, as well as other items to resell on eBay, as you know. But yeah, when Claire fell ill, I had to go through the garage, which is literally stuffed floor to ceiling with boxes of books. So I've been sifting through them. Some nice little winners. Maybe I'll do another video on those. But this particular book I come across here, again, very plain looking book that I came across. There was loads covered in mould from previous owners. So that's what I was sorting through, is a load of dump stuff, and basically, like I say, came across this book. And I opened it up on the first page to find some handwriting, just what looked like 18th century, 19th century sort of handwriting. Almost went like that with a book, thinking it's just some handwritten notes. But again, I think we have found something significant. I don't know whether you can see on the front of the cover here, sorry for the pause, and I'm really trying not to do too much editing on this. I just don't have the time, so you're going to get a quite raw footage, me dropping things, hopefully not this. But I'm hoping you can see on the front cover here, Maria Bing, with a very, so you can see it on there, maybe putting this well too close for the camera, but on the spine, Old Wives' Tales. The journey this book has took me on is insane. Like I say, I nearly threw it away. I got so overwhelmed with books, so I was just trying to get rid of stuff, dead stock. And I put this one aside to research later. There was too much other good stuff to look through. So yeah, that time came. Been picking it up, putting it down, doing a bit of research here and there on Maria Bing, and also inside the front cover Again, I don't know whether you're going to be able to see this. If not, if it's this dodgy thingy, I'll put a screenshot on there. But there's a tiny little sticker with a quotation on the front. I'll say sticker. And then a name down the bottom there that says Henry D for Delta. Henry D. Byng. So that was where the wild goose chase started to happen. Maria Byng, Henry Byng, quick look on Google. What a story. What a story. This guy, Henry Byng, was a vice admiral in the Royal Navy in the 17th century, 18th century, when Britain and America were going through the Revolutionary War. The war between Britain and America, independence. What a fascinating, like I say, fascinating story this guy led, or life. Charleston in America, Chesapeake River, the invasions of, it is, Google it. I'll put a link down in the description to these wiki pages of these really incredible people. But Henry Byng, brief story, married a woman in Canada, Maria Byng, and they seem to have had a life, you know, throughout the 17th and 18th century. I'm now going to show you quick flickets of the book. I might have to even just get you down from off the boys' windowsill in a minute, just so you can get a good view of this as well. But yeah, the handwriting in this is stunning. The names that jump out from this book are insane. And obviously, again, with the thumbnail, big giveaway. But yeah, I think we've found something. I keep saying that, don't I? But I think we've found something. Anyway, let's get you guys down off that shelf and we'll have a very quick look through this book at some of the names and even sketches as well in the book, which, yeah, really cool. No further ado, let's get you down there and we'll have a quick flick through these pages. And rest assured, I'm going to bring other chapters out of this book because I don't think this is going to end here. But we'll bring out other chapters of this book, or other video chapters, sorry, where we can take a look at certain segments of the letters or poems in this book. So if you're a Byron fan, make sure you stay tuned, hit that subscribe button and comment away. I really need your help here to validate this book. Let's have a look down here. Right, excuse the notes. This is all not being thought through. But here we go. So it's a black leather book with Maria Byng on the front cover. When we open that book, we have this sticker inside, which is the bit that I said led me on that wild goose chase. So this book belongs to though art borrowed by a friend, right welcome shall he be to read, to study, not to lend, but to return to me. Note that imparted knowledge doth diminish learning's store, but books I find, if often lent, return to me no more. Read slowly, pause frequently, think seriously, keep cleanly, return duly, with the corners of the leaves not turned down. Henry D. Byng. Obviously these were the names that were jumping out to me right at the beginning. That's what I googled and was led on a very wild goose chase. trying to figure out who this book was, and if it wasn't for this guy and his wife not leading such an interesting story, I might have not looked into this any further. So there we go, 2 names on the front there, Henry D. Byng, Maria Byng. I'll pop those in the links to those wiki pages in the description below, so feel free to check them out. Now let's get to the naughty bit. Ready? There we go, we have a date, which, correct me if I'm wrong, looks like September 20th, 1833. And by my reckoning, even look like it says Prince there. Next we have a drawing of a lady who's holding a baby. And the video's maybe not picking this up too well, but I think you can see sort of just where there was like the outline of more of the drawing there, which is possibly faded, and rather oddly the baby's been scribbled, which, as we go through this video, any Byron fans are really going to know where this is leading to. Right, let's turn the pages over, and here we go. This is the stunning, gorgeous handwriting that we found. I'm going to whiz through this on purpose because I want this video to be as reasonably short as I possibly can. And I'll try and pick out some of the names in here as well, so try and put you in my frame of mind. I'm looking for a Henry Byng and discovering new names. General Whitlock, I believe there was a name that cropped or stood out. And we have a whole page here again of more text to someone. I promise you guys I will go through this in a lot more studied fashion on previous or next videos even, because I really want you guys to see if you can help me decipher some of this stuff. It's a bit of a 17th century Agatha Christie style mystery of what it actually says in here. Oh, I just saw something then as well. It's so exciting. So exciting. I'm convinced, guys. I've found missing letters. Sorry if this is a bit too slow. Trouble is, with just taking a photo of a book, it's then very hard to sort of show you in the form of this book. Right, well, I'm now skipped past slightly here. Let's skip round. Oh, what's that? Oh yeah. Can you read that? Peter Parker by Lord Byron. At first, I did not. It's honestly, it took my eyes to focus on this quite somewhat. The sort of handwriting on this, so it's picking pieces, if you like, of the puzzle out. But when I saw Peter Parker, that Lord Byron, these were just some of the names that were jumping out. I was still in the frame of mind that Henry Byng must have wrote this book, or Maria, and these were just some sort of notes, maybe, about a famous poet at the time who lived in their times. Let's move my notes out of the way. Like I say, I have done quite an extensive piece of research on this over the last couple of weeks. So there are names that are coming out here, which I'm sure if you're going to start Googling, you're welcome to. But that says here, I believe, Commodore Sir John Beresford. So again, that's another name that I jotted down in the book. So I'm just trying to really get there. But that was another name. We've got another name here as well, which freaked me out when I saw it. I thought that said William IV. I could be putting 2 and 2 together, coming up here and having 6, but William IV, I do believe, was a king around those times. But yeah, does that say Bermudas? Bermudez? William Frith? Bermudez? I don't know. Please help me, guys. And we've got another page here. Honestly, this will get even better as well. Some more text there. Another name drop there on the death of Princess Charlotte. Wow. Research again shows that she was around at that time. So there's a whole page dedicated to her, and then it comes over to this page as well. And what's really interesting is Princess Charlotte, the 18th century Princess Charlotte, died in 1817. So who was this? You know, who was writing this? Was it Henry Byng? Was it Maria? Was it Peter Parker? John Beresford? Not the famous English football player. And we've even got Hythe Cottage there at the end. So he was writing this book at the time. Too many names popping out. And then that was really the end of the journal. But just to give you an idea, there's actually 20 pages, including this segment, 20 pages of text, handwritten text. And again, I promise you, subscribe. We'll go back through each of these letters in a lot more finer detail. I want you guys to help me decode this and see whether we're onto a real winner here. But next page, blank, and then we have some absolutely stunning sketches, which are probably going to look a heck of a lot better under some light here. These are really faint sketches of ships. Unfortunately, some of these have faded somewhat. I'll maybe pop these pictures in my light box and we'll do like a YouTube post, which I've never hit yet. We'll hit like a YouTube post and get a few of these images. Okay. I should show that in better detail. The extraordinary sails. Beautiful pictures. unfortunately that's where some of these start going off. I will continue because there are a handful of pictures in here again which look more childlike drawings. Now, appreciate this book potentially 100, 200 years old. Alright, sorry about that. I had to edit that part of the video. Unfortunately, I think because all the pencil sketches are so faint, like, you know, sitting here I can see some of these sketches, but through the book just randomly there are odd sketches throughout which just look slightly childlike, and I know I'm banging here for maybe a little bit of criticism and having a slightly wild imagination, but some of these just look quite childlike. Again, anyone who studies Byron, that was a really interesting picture as well. I'm off on a bit of a fantasy here that just like your kids might have, they might have got hold of their dad's book, and I understand that Byron didn't spend a lot of time with his daughters and died quite young at the age of 36, I believe. Same as Ada Lovelace, she also died when she was 36. And an interesting story she is as well, type of Ada Lovelace. One of the women with Charles Babbage, who helped really sort of bring about the idea that a computer could be used for other things than just calculations, I think is the best way to describe it. But like I say, I just went off on a bit of a fantasy here. It looked like a 6 or a 9-year-old girl of some sort has possibly drew these pictures, and I'm hovering over this one because it's actually a portrait of Ada Lovelace online, which is all dressed up in a pretty dress with a very tall champagne flute as well. And what does that say? But yeah, like I said, I do understand that these could have been drawn in any time in the last 200 years, but some of these look quite 17th, 18th century sort of bonnet. Large dress there. But could this be Ada Lovelace staying with her dad, took his drawing book and drew in it? Or was it after his death that she came into possession of it, maybe? And scribbled in the back of her dad's book, like my kids did with my pictures and stuff like that I drew 30 years ago. But yeah, it's a few blank pages, but in total we have 20 pages of text with 8 sketches of boats and ships in. It's a book that looks like 17th century, late 17th century, 1800s. Fantastic condition, really, considering how old it is. What are your thoughts? Is this Henry Bing? Is this Maria Bing's journal? But when I looked at autographs, signatures even online, what came up was that Byron was, I should have wrote this down, George Gordon Lord Byron, I think, was his name. And he had a fascination with Napoleon Bonaparte, and on the odd occasion would sign a letter with the initials MB. And yep, I can see MB. So when I've looked online, that signature, the other signature, all looked so strikingly similar. You know, at the end of the day, we're not using biro pens. We're using quills, I would imagine, back in them days. So different ink, different lighting, different quill maybe. So, you know, the styles are maybe slightly changed, but the comparisons to me online are too freaking scary that this isn't a Lord Byron involved in there somewhere. So obviously I started to look through a few other letters, and we're talking, I don't know, maybe a note that size, selling for 6,500, I think, at Bonhams auctioneers, to a general of some sort, reached £6,500. Another letter about this size, £12,500, a 28-page or a bunch of 28-page letters sold at Christie's for £237,000. I mean, this would be absolutely insane if we've just found this. Excuse the squeaky chair. But if we found this amongst a box of books from an auction or some faraway house clearance we done in the last few years, I don't know where this come from. But yeah, found in a box of books in our garage. So, like I say, comparing the letters on you know, auction sites, signatures all seem very the same. And again, I'm sure there's some professor or someone now sat there staring at this going, no way, that's 100% Byron. Or there's 10 of you screaming that isn't. But when we look at the T's, how they cross over the H's, that's very Byron-like. The NB, like I say, is very much the same. Let's go back to the original signature again. So can you see the by Lord Byron? The B's are the same on the letters, again, that I've seen online, and the way that the Y and G's, whenever we come across them on certain letters, just have a very elongated sort of tail on it, which again on the letters is just very Byron-like. So it's been a heck of a journey. I was hoping this video maybe finished, I don't know, 10 minutes ago or so. Honestly, it's going to get better and better and better the more chapters I release. What we're going to do is go basically from the start of a book, and we'll have a proper downward view. I think this time I'm too far into this video now to give up. I need to get out there. But we'll take a look at each excerpt bit by bit. But we have mention of King George in the letter, Princess Charlotte, Peter Parker, John Beresford, and Caroline Lamb, or Caroline, I should say. There's a part at the beginning of the book, a poem, which may have never even seen the light of day and no one knows exists. But yeah, I've gone through this with some extensive research. We've got dates of 1813, 1817. We have a death of Mary as well. So let's go all the way back here. So the memory of Mary, life of Commodore Sir John Beresford. So when I looked up John Beresford, and we have the date there, 1813 is when she died, and there's a little bit of uncertainty, let's say, online when she did actually die. A lot of people say that she died round about when she was 40. But that could be an interesting piece of history that's solved. That she was actually 23. A lady that was forgotten about. It's fascinating, insane. We've just quickly flicked through this book and seen some names pop out. The links, let's just say, of course, how can I miss this one out? So, On the Death of Sir Peter Parker by Lord Byron. Of course, I put into Google Lord Byron, had a look at that. Peter Parker would just come up with Spider-Man. So I combined both of those searches, Lord Byron and Peter Parker, all on the same Google search result. And lo and behold, Peter Parker was actually Lord Byron's first cousin. So for someone to have faked 20 pages of text in the same handwriting with no pages being torn out at all, with such personal memoirs, it's unbelievable. But Peter Parker and Byron, this is the bit where I laid in bed at about 11 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock, I'm on about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and the hairs went up on my spine. So when I saw Peter Parker and Lord Byron were cousins, that was insane. The next thing is this. When I looked online, Peter Parker was killed in battle in Baltimore, I believe, when there's an invasion of Baltimore in the USA. And Lord Byron, being cousins, wrote an elegy, I believe, about Lord Byron. When I clicked on that elegy, the hairs, like I say, stood up on the back of my neck, and I know there's people already there. Anyone who's into Byron has sussed this before. So this is what I downloaded online, the works of Lord Byron, and printed, obviously. So this is stanzas on the death of Sir Peter Parker. And there's that first stanza, which we all learn something new every day. It's not a paragraph, it's a stanza, I believe. There is a tear for all that die, a mourner o'er the humblest grave, but nations swell the funeral cry, and triumph weeps above the brave. Read it? There is a tear for all that die, a mourner o'er the humblest grave, but nations swell the funeral cry, and triumph weeps above the brave. And each stanza is exactly what we've got here. We've got the entire poem to Sir Peter Parker. And it then continues and finishes on that page. So, guys, let's get you back around here. Let's get you back. What do you reckon? Is this Lord Byron's memoirs, lost poems, lost work? I don't have time to read. Oh, I wish I did. I run our own business. We've got 2.5 children. We do house clearances. I do YouTube. I do my own accounts. I do my own web design. I do everything. Research. We need this at the moment to come off. Claire's not well. I need to spend a bit of time at home. So I'd really love to hear your thoughts on this. It's looking pretty tasty though, isn't it? But I've been draining myself in Byron documentaries. Get on a few tonight, have a watch. If this sort of thing interests you and you want to solve a mystery from 17th century, 18th century Britain and US, and possibly Greece as well, where Byron did actually leave in 1816, never to come home again to the United Kingdom. And we've got dates in this diary that predate when he left the UK. I love history, so all that kind of stuff fascinates me. If you love Pirates of the Caribbean and, you know, sort of ancient war, just, yeah, that sort of stuff, then this is so interesting. It really, really is. I've turned. I love all this stuff now. It's just been absolutely fascinating little journey for a couple of weeks. But I'm waffling now. I hope you have enjoyed this little tease of a video. I'll bring certainly 3, 4, 5 more videos of this out, where we'll cut it down a little bit, scan through those pictures, or through the pages, beg your pardon, of the book, and see whether we can actually decode it. Is that a good thing to do prior auction? You know, if this does turn out, we'll do the whole thing from finding it to auction day, and hopefully find a good home, where, yeah, we might be able to tell the rest of the world a little bit of Byron that we don't know about at the moment. But yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed this little video. Hit the subscribe button down below, because there will be a few more come out. If I just do these in 10-15 minute videos, we can get through, yeah, sort of chapters out in this book quite quickly. So excuse the raw footage. I'm trying not to read out. I'm going to bed at 6 in the morning. I've got too much to do. So please let me know what you think. Put your comments below, links, all that kind of stuff. I will be reading it all, answering any questions that you may have, but I'm not going to do any more photos of this or videos until the next one's released, so I won't be releasing them anywhere else apart from YouTube. So thanks again, guys. Thanks for hanging in there. I look forward to you coming on the journey with us, and yeah, look forward to getting the next video out. That's it for now. Please remember, hit that like, subscribe, and the alarm bell for notification when the next video does come out, because we will be looking at the Caroline poem next in this book. It's going to be good. Look forward to you coming with us. Thanks again. Take care. Have a good day, and keep well.